Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is June the 19th, 2022. Wow, time's going by quick. Happy Father's Day for those of you who are celebrating Father's Day today. I get a chance to get over to see my dad. I did go on Wednesday with my sister and we took him out to lunch. So that was kind of our early Father's Day time when my sister was in town. So that was kind of nice to see him, but I'll touch base again today for sure. Now, today I've got a few cards I got to write. So I've got 2 official ones I can write, and then the rest are my regular swaps and return mail for people that have been writing me on a regular basis. So I'll get to showing you some of those things. I want to say thanks so much for the questions that are starting to come back in again for That Dad Guy Answers. So it looks like next week I will have quite a few questions to answer. Keep adding them in. The more I have, the better the video can be. So that's great. Thanks for the comments on the Scottish Festival that I put up yesterday. So the Highland Games and things are still in place today. Got a little bit wet just after I left, but then cleared right up again for the rest of the day. So I think they really had a good weather for it. Right now it's still kind of nice. It's calling for a little bit of rain later this afternoon. So hopefully that won't happen. And I'm especially hoping that we're not going to get any rain tomorrow, because tomorrow is the prom for my daughter and they take all their pictures and things in the park beforehand. So I'm hoping that'll go well. All right. What else do I have coming up? Oh yeah, I got to start plugging the meetup that's happening in Moncton on July the 2nd at Centennial Park. So if you are a post-crosser and you're watching this and you're in the maritime area, if you want to come to Moncton, come to Moncton between 1 and 4 at Centennial Park for the meetup. And I know there's going to be some great post-crossing meetup cards that are coming. I've seen them. They're going to be nice. So you'll want to get your hands on those if you're coming. And make sure you bring your stamp to put your name on the cards, or make sure your hands are good and ready to write over and over again. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing who maybe is in the area that's going to come that I haven't met before, and might be new post-crossers. So July the 2nd, make sure you hold on to that date and come to Moncton. If not, maybe July the 3rd, you're in Peggy's Cove, because there's going to be a meetup there. I won't be at that one. And on July the 4th in Prince Edward Island in Borden at the Tourist Bureau, there will be another one. So I'm going to be at that one. So you'll either get to see me in Moncton, which I'm hoping you're going to come to because this is my local one, and the more people, the better. And then again in PEI, I'll be at that one there on the 4th. So I'm going to keep plugging these regularly. So make sure that you're coming out. And if you want to let me know, need any more information, if I've got it, I'll let you know. All right. So let's move on a bit into what we're doing today. So the first one is my official one. It is going to Germany. And he has been doing post-crossing for a while. He's got a bunch of different things that he collects. And the ones that he collects, he actually goes on to say, well, I've actually gotten quite a few of them. So make sure you check his page out to see what cards he already has, because he doesn't want a lot of duplicates. But one of the things he talked about was lighthouses. I've got lighthouses, but he seems to have gotten lots of lighthouses. So I didn't want to duplicate on that. So I wanted to do something more along this lines. So if you watch my channel, you know I'm from Moncton. I'm from New Brunswick. So I am going to promote local. And these are the Hopewell Rocks. There's only about a 40-minute drive south of me, and it really shows the tide. So this is when the rocks are at low tide and the tide is out. When the water comes back in for high tide, it is way up here and the bottom is all covered. So at low tide, you can actually go down and walk around on the sand and explore around some of the caved areas. But you make sure at high tide you're well out of there, because you might get trapped. It could be very dangerous if you're down there. But people do go and rent kayaks and things when it's high tide and sail all around it. So that's pretty cool. That's Hopewell Rocks. That's going off to Germany. My next one is going to North Carolina in the United States. And he collects all sorts of things. He likes collecting souvenir pennies. So if you're familiar with the machines, you put in a penny, it usually charges you about $1 or something now. Maybe some of them are a bit more, and you crank the wheel and it flattens the penny and it puts the image of the tourist destination that you're at the time, whether it's Mount Rushmore, maybe you do a little bit of that, or it could be the Empire State Building or the CN Tower, who knows. But that's what he collects, those crushed pennies. I might actually have some of them around here, I'm not sure, from our trip to Disney and things. The kids wanted to do that. So anyways, he goes on, he wants postcards that have recipes of your local area. I don't have one of those currently, but I do have this. So lobster is big in our area. We catch it, we ship it all around the world, and in the summer it is on the menu everywhere, whether it's in the form of a lobster roll or a lobster boil. Yeah, lobsters are everywhere, so there's some facts about lobsters too. So that will go off there. Now here's the swaps and friend mail that I've got going. This one here is a Vincent van Gogh. I've also heard it pronounced Vincent van Gogh. Yeah, here I pronounce it Vincent van Gogh. And this is one of his works, The Shoes, from 1853 to 1890. And that one's going off. This is a new one that you will have seen me recently. I have bought from our local museum. This is showing the Petitcodiac River, which goes through Moncton, and it's around 1910 when this is happening. So lots of ships were coming up and down the river. At that point in time, we had a big shipbuilding area here in Moncton. The river's not as majestic as it once was, so no more shipbuilding here. Okay, here is a UK mailbox. This is one going off. I've had this for quite some time. I really love mailboxes, and this just had to go to the right person. So there, that's that one. This one is Government House in Fredericton. Fredericton is the capital of New Brunswick, my province, and this is where the Lieutenant Governor resides. So this is a position that is an appointed position that represents the Queen within our government here in the province. And that's their residence while they're in office. Here we have a retro card. This is for Pepsi Cola. Now pretty much just called Pepsi, but kind of barbecue summery. So that's what we're in now. And for those of you who would drink sodas or pops, Pepsi and Coke are the two big ones. So that's one from Pepsi. And on the same theme, here is a 7-Up card. So those of you who like clear liquid in your soda or pop, I just think these are funny, these old retro cards. So there's one for 7-Up going out. Here is an image of New Brunswick. So a nice country lane, lots of trees, open space. There's a lot of that in the province outside the cities. And our cities really aren't huge either. So there's still lots of land to be found everywhere. So there's a representation of the province. And if you want to zoom out of the province a bit more and be a little bit more comical, here is a map card. So the pink is New Brunswick, and then you got Prince Edward Island over here where Anne of Green Gables lives, and then Nova Scotia down here. And then all around you've got the province of Quebec, which is the French province in the country, and then the state of Maine in the United States. So that's kind of where we're situated. And here are all the different sort of things you might see. And Moncton's over here where the giant magnet is, Magnetic Hill. And then here is a kitty. So this is from the Dungeons and Dragons series. And so I'm going to send that one out to someone who I think might appreciate it. And here's another one from Fredericton, our capital. Up on a hill, this is the University of New Brunswick and St. Thomas University. And so now we're kind of thinking university time. My daughter is graduating next week from high school, and so she's going off to university. She's not going to university in New Brunswick, though. She's going a little further away, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that as time comes. But thinking about universities, I thought I would send that university card off. And then finally, I've got this card, a nice dragon protecting his gold from the oncoming adventurers that are trying to take it, I suppose. So for any of you who have either played the game of Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe watched the movie, or maybe you're into the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies, this is kind of along that lines, but a very cartoony style of it. So that one is going out. So that's all I've got this week. It's still quite a few cards to write. I don't mind. That's what my Sundays are. I usually end up doing a bit of that for that. So, and I love sharing the cards that I am thinking of sending off to people with you guys. So hopefully you guys have done a little bit of writing this weekend and of keeping the mail busy. And maybe you had a successful week of cards coming in, or maybe you're still waiting for all the post-crossing cards to show up. Last week I only had one official one show up, so maybe this week I'll get a lot more. That's the way it goes. 1 week, 2 weeks might be slow, and then you might get a whole bunch all at once. So for now, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Father's Day if that's what you're celebrating today. And stay safe. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?